Hello there. Have you received one of these? Now, it's the invitation to the memorial of Jesus Christ's death, something which is held on a yearly basis. Now, if you have, it might be your first attendance at one of these, so I thought I'd produce this video quite briefly just to sort of explain a little bit about what will happen on that night. Now, like I say, it could be your first visit, so you might be completely oblivious to what goes on at one of these events. Now, the event is held roughly on a yearly basis, and it's normally 2 weeks after the spring solstice. Now, it roughly lasts about an hour, and we first start off with a song from the songbook. Now, this is from this book here, which is called Sing to Jehovah. Now, if you haven't got a copy of this book, don't despair, because no doubt somebody who you're probably stood next to at the meeting will probably share with you their copy. Otherwise, you can actually ask for a copy from one of the brothers who are there, and I'm sure that they'll be willing to get a copy for you. Now, every Kingdom Hall has these stocked, so you should have no problem in obtaining a copy of one of these. Now, another alternative is that you can actually, if you've got a tablet computer, you can download these free from jw.org. So they're completely free of charge to download, and you can put them on your tablet and they'll open up with an e-reader of some sort. Now, after that song has been sung, the brother from the platform, he will do an opening prayer in which we all participate in. Now, after the prayer has been done, we sit down and we listen to a short talk there, a Bible-based talk about events that pertain to this particular event. Now, what happens after that is that the emblems are then passed around. Now, you probably wonder what the emblems are. Well, I've got some examples here for you. Now, this is flat bread. It is leavened bread. So it's kind of like cracker-like. So that's something that's passed around on a plate. Now, if you're anointed, you would then eat some of this bread. If you're not anointed, then you just pass it on to the next person. Now, also along with that is the red wine. Now, of course, this is passed on through a glass. And again, if you're anointed, you would take a sip of the wine. If you're not anointed, then you don't, you just pass it on to the next person. Now, this is just your average bottle of red wine from a supermarket, which is quite easily obtainable. Now, it's not mulled, it's not spiced in any way. It has to be plain red wine. So it can be available in every supermarket, and it's just the everyday stuff that you might even have at home. So that's what that's all about there. So again, these emblems are passed from person to person. Now, you're probably thinking, well, how do I know if I'm anointed or not? Well, if you're anointed, you'd know about it. So if you're actually asking yourself the question, am I anointed? Then that probably means that you're not anointed, because anointed Christians know that they are anointed, and there is no question about it. Now, and the anointed ones are Christ brothers who will rule with Christ in heaven at the appointed time. Now, this you find in the book of Revelation, and there's an actual number of these brothers and sisters, and there's 144,000 of them who will be, when they die, they'll be transmitted to heaven, as it were, to live as spirit creatures and to become kings and priests along with Jesus Christ. Now, so if you're not anointed, then you don't drink the wine and you don't eat the bread as well. Now, you probably wonder, what do these emblems actually mean? Well, let's just have a look at what Matthew chapter 26, verse 26 onwards tells us there. Now, it says there, as they continued eating, Jesus took a loaf, and after saying a blessing, he broke it, and giving it to the disciples, he said, "Take, eat, this means my body." So we see there that the bread is symbolic to Jesus' body, as it were, or his flesh. So, and taking a cup, he offered thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink out of it, all of you, for this means my blood of a covenant." So that red wine then is symbolic to Jesus' blood. Now, it goes on to say that which is to be poured out in behalf of many for forgiveness of sins. But I say to you that I will by no means drink again any of this product of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in the kingdom of my Father, which we were just talking about earlier. Now, finally, after singing praises, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Now, you might be wondering, well, why do we need to observe this at all? Well, I want to read you a scripture from Romans chapter 5, verse 12. Now, if you've got your own Bible there, read this along with me. Now, it's in Romans chapter 5, and it's verse 12. And it says there, that is why, just as through one man sin entered into the world, and death through sin, and so death spread to all men because they had all sinned. So after Adam sinned in the Garden of Eden, all his descendants from there on have become imperfect. So we are all sinners. Not one of us doesn't sin. Not one of us is perfect. So to buy back what was lost in the Garden of Eden, or rather perfect life, then Jesus had to come down to earth as a perfect man. In fact, the Bible calls him the last Adam. Now, so it was needed for a ransom in exchange for many. So Jesus was that ransom. So when he died, he bought back that perfect life that was lost by Adam in the Garden of Eden. So that is why it is needed. So after the emblems are passed around, what happens next? Well, it is now then the close of the memorial, and so that will be done by giving again, by singing a song from the songbook which we showed you earlier. Now after that's been done, the brother from the platform will offer a closing prayer, and then you're free to go home. Now some kingdom halls have more than one congregation that meet there, that might share the same building. So it might be the case that everybody is ushered out after that, so the next congregation can have their memorial. But if you're in a kingdom hall where that only has one congregation that meet there, then you'll probably be free to mingle, as it were, with some of the brothers and sisters there, and they'll be able to answer some of your questions if you have some. Now, if you want to find out a little bit more information about the memorial, and you might need to find out well, what time your local memorial will be at your local kingdom hall, well, if you log on to jw.org and then click on the About tab, and then on the left hand side, if you go down to Memorial, click on that link, that will help you to find out when your local memorial will take place. Now it's always commenced after sundown, because it was an instruction from Jesus himself to do this after sundown. Now the memorial itself is normally 2 weeks after the spring solstice, so that obviously falls on the 14th of April this year. So if you find out from the local kingdom hall, or also on the website which I've just explained, they will be able to tell you what time that will take place at your local kingdom hall. But also on that website, you'll be able to find out a little bit more about what the memorial represents, and why we do this on an annual basis. Now, also, if you would like a free home Bible study, there's also a link on the bottom of that first page there to request a Bible study, in which somebody will be pleased to come along and give you a free home Bible study from this book which we showed you earlier, which is the New World Translation. Now this is the 2013 edition, which has been translated into modern English, so it's very, very easy to understand. Now, so also it's good to note that don't be worried about dress so much, but it is a good idea to come smartly dressed, rather as I am here, with a shirt and tie and a suit if you've got one. But if you haven't got these things, don't worry. Your presence will be very much appreciated, and it's a really, really good thing to do to show our gratefulness to the greatest act of love that's ever been committed in Jehovah, who has given his own first begotten son. In exchange, it was like an exchange for many. So that's basically what to expect. So like I say, it takes about an hour, and it's very, very easy. You might be a little bit nervous about passing the wine along just in case you spill it, but it's all quite quick, and it's all over and done with. And it's very, very interesting. Normally the talks are very interesting as well, so you'll really very much enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing you there. Okay then, thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.